Right, good evening, and this is the debrief that I promised you from the last video that we did, the strange but true one, and our brief sort of close encounter of the third kind with a UFO type object that we saw above Scout Road in Marthamroyd. Right, for the rest of the patrol, we just kept driving round. I kept looking across at Ian, and he looked deep in thought. And he just kept saying, are we going to report it or not? And I just said, no bloody way, no chance. He said, what, not even a pocketbook entry? I said, no, just leave it as it is. I said, I've got a wife and 3 kids. I've still got 20 odd years left in the police to serve. And I just didn't fancy the idea of having to leave the police after reporting something like this. I even mentioned a retired colleague of ours called Alan Godfrey had a bit more of a interaction with a UFO. I just explained that it didn't end well, and we just carried on driving. We both sort of kept looking into the sky to see if this thing did come back, but alas, it didn't, and it was quite light now. And I did explain, I said, look, I've taken reports of this before, I said, and of members of the public, we've put a report in, and it actually goes through to a chap in the Ministry of Defence at Whitehall who collates all these things, and I could just imagine like an RAF wing commander sat there with a big bushy moustache, smoking a pipe and stroking his chocolate lab dog called Cadbury or something, and I just try to bat it off as a bit of a joke. But Ian was quite serious about it, and I think he was mad keen on putting pen to paper, but I just said no chance. So we drove back into Ebden Bridge. I reversed into the backyard of the police station at the side of the Land Rover, and even before I'd put the brake on, he were out of the passenger seat, legging it through up to the steps and into the back door of the Nick. And I just carried on filling out the vehicle logbook for that tour of duty. Got that done, walked into the Nick, and just as I was walking on the corridor, the sergeant and Ginge popped their heads round the corner. Now then, what's this about? This UFO thing that you've both seen. I looked across at Ian, and he would sort of look very sheepish. No, I just batted it off. No, it was nothing. It's probably light refraction or off low cloud. Might be a farmer or a farmer looking for his lost sheep, or a milkman with one of those strong spotlights on the back of his Toyota truck delivering milk. And I just sort of batted it off and said, no, that's not, it's just, it was just something that we'd seen. So we carried on drinking a brew, and at 6 o'clock we went off duty. Back on again at 6 in the evening. And I must admit, when it was getting light again, we did make sure that we were in Marthamroyd looking towards where we'd seen it, but there was nothing. It was just a one-off. I can't explain what it was. There were no little green men running around or anything like that. It was just a strange thing, strange occurrence. And I never mentioned it again until I started writing these books, and I fully documented it in book 2, which was more notes made at the time. It's the yellow covered book, and if you look carefully, you can actually see I've included a flying saucer in the top sort of right hand corner. It's just an hand drawn thing, just to sort of mention that what we'd seen. Yeah. And yeah, that's how I was very reluctant to report it. And I just, as years went on, it was just forgotten about. But after I'd published that book, that More Notes Made at the Time, I did get a couple of messages from retired colleagues who also mentioned that when they'd been out on nights over the years, they have noticed or they have witnessed things that they cannot explain. But as with me, they didn't want to report it just in case. Well, let's say with Alan, it didn't end well at all, really. They just made out that it was all a bit strange, and eventually I think they got him to leave the police. So yeah, that's the little update, and I'll sort of leave it like that. Obviously, if you've encountered anything similar, it's just I think it's something that either police, emergency services like firemen or ambulance crews, or even district nurses out working nights, they've probably seen stuff. But it's sort of, and especially in the valley where we live, it is considered a bit of a UFO hotspot, especially Todmorden. And yeah, so yeah, that's my little encounter. I haven't seen anything since, so I can't really explain what it was. Like I say, we thought it were an aircraft coming towards us in the sky, but it does give the appearance, like I said on the initial video, that it's a light in the sky, but when you move direction or you move location, you can see it, what it is, and you can probably see the navigation lights. But there was nothing like that at all, and it set off very slowly. I think it was about 80 foot up in the air, as I remember, and it set off slowly, and then it just carried on up to about 20,000 feet, and then woof, off it went. Never seen anything move that quick, and it definitely wasn't any aircraft that I've had any experience with. So yeah, I'll leave it with you. Thanks a lot for watching. If you do like these videos, just give us the old thumbs up, subscribe, and just leave a bit of a comment, really, to say what you think. All right then, take care, have a good evening. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye. Yeah, I just thought, if you're interested, there's you can get a copy of Alan Godfrey's book, Who or What Were They, outlining his experiences on that night in 1980. It's Who or What Were They. You contact Alan direct on alancath46@yahoo.com. That's Alan Cath with a K. And I'm sure he'll joyfully send you a signed copy of his book, which is very good reading. I've also I'll mention my book. It's More Notes Made at the Time, Book 2, and that I fully documented our experience there that early morning above the skies of Mytholmroyd. So that's More Notes Made at the Time, Book 2, available at Amazon Kindle on £1.99 each. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and take care and keep watching the skies. Bye-bye now.